That is so powerful. But just for the information of some of our viewers, Nosizwe has established Lihlahlandlela, which is a bunch of young people who have come together to pursue entrepreneurial projects and activities. She also has a farm where they've recently grown lettuce, about 3,000 heads of lettuce.
Actually, 5,000.
Ooh, 5,000 heads of lettuce. Tell us more about that project, what you are doing in your community practically to implement entrepreneurship and to impact the lives of youth in the area where you're working.
Thank you so much, Lando. Lihlahlandlela is one of the babies that I'm very passionate about because this is like a social enterprise. This is something that I want to give back to the community in terms of skills, in terms of food, and in terms of development and changing the economy of the country. Every time I ask myself, when you're asking me, are we really going to achieve 1, 2, 3? I ask you one thing. What are you doing as an individual to contribute into the country's vision to achieving something? Therefore, I also looked at myself, I'm like, okay, skills development, going to workshops, teaching people is not enough. We started a group with these young people, prominent people in their different workstations. We came together, we sat down, we're like, what can we do together? Because I always say, this is a quote I always say, if you want to go far, go with somebody. But if you want to go fast, then go alone. So therefore, we came together, we started this farming. It hasn't been easy, but we are learning a lot. I've told myself that as a statistician, I believe I can calculate everything, you know. Mathematics is a language. You choose how to speak it. You choose where you want to speak it to. So we did all our calculations. We started a farm. I'm sure you're seeing lettuce flying all over the screens right now. That is exactly what we are producing.
Yes.
That is exactly what we are producing from that farm. And you know,
so you should get in touch with us and place your order.
Yeah, all your weddings, all your, we've got you.
Support black business.
More than anything, you know, to me, this has been one of the special moments in my life where you can actually bring life out of something, and you know very well that this is going to give life to somebody else. You know, watching it as I was putting down the seed, it was growing. Like, it made me believe that anything is possible, African child. So these are the one of the things that keep me moving in life, that nothing can ever stop you as long as you have your heart in something, then nothing can stop you.
Wow, that is so powerful. I hope you guys got that. Everything is possible. Nothing is impossible. I also then want to find out, speaking to that, I'm sure with most of the projects that you have done and most of the areas where you've been a highly impactful person, there have been challenges. Sometimes we think that the road is going to be clear and smooth, and oftentimes we then are disappointed when we're met with these challenges and we want to give up. Tell me about one of the lowest points in your life, the lowest points that you have ever experienced, and then just to inspire our audience out there, how did you recover from that low point?
Okay, so the lowest point in my life, Lando Buhle, was when I lost my mother. This was 2012, 27 May. I remember very well, I was just coming from church when I got the news that she has passed on. I couldn't believe it because I just had a conversation with her the previous day. I know we always have conversations after church. And that night I was going to prepare for my exams that were starting on the Monday. But then I got this news, I had to come home. The sad part is my mom was my best friend. She was my cheerleader. She was the one pushing me to become this girl that can achieve so much in life. She believed in me more than I even believed in myself. So when you get to a level, to a point in life where you're just going to lose that, you then, your life just changes. You don't have a choice. You need to grow up. You need to start restructuring, rearranging your life, that from here, this is what I need to do. And that's when I said to myself, this woman believed in me, and the only thing that I want to happen in life is for her to forever smile down on me and say, I raised you well. So 2012 was a rough year, but thank God I managed to pass all my modules that semester and went through to the following year, which
That
was
must
the
have
year
been
of
so
my...
tough, eh?
That was tough. It was new. Everything was new. you're just learning every single day that life comes and throws this at you. You just need to know how to handle yourself.
And then tell me though, as part of your recovery journey from losing your mom and not losing focus, who are the other players in your life who came in to support you during that time? And over and above that, just what advice can you give to some of our inspired Swatis on some of the tricks or the tactics that they can use to make it out of a low point?
um, what I'm always grateful for in my life is that my parents taught me God. You know, my mother was a praying woman. She taught me that everything, just cast it all in prayer and God shall come through for you in every situation. So for me, praying to God, trusting in God in everything gave me hope that the following day I can face it. And then he also brought just the right people in my life, my family, people like you, Lando, my friend. You know, my dad, they've always been there for me. They've been the best support system. I would also mention like, my brother. He's been there for me 100%. Sub has been there for me 100%. You know, in everything, they're always there to just cover the gap, cheer me on, ask me not what I need to do, 1, 2, 3. They don't ask me so many questions because they've already seen how much I actually put myself into something that I want to start.
So basically, what I'm getting from this is that life will throw you with some of these challenges. But if you have the right support system, if you have a very strong belief in God, you can then achieve. We have a lot of suicides that we've seen in the country, a lot of pressure either at work, friends at home. You feel like you don't have any support. But, you know, hearing such a story, hearing how you turned your life around, going to represent Eswatini in the African Union, we can tend to think that you didn't have these challenges, but the way you recovered really is inspirational, Nosizwe.
Thank you so much, Lando. You know, sometimes I look at myself and I think, how did I do this? But I can only say it's God. I mean, 2017, I was a Tony Elumelu winner.
Tony
entrepreneur.
Elumelu.
Yes.
You guys know about Tony Elumelu. Tell us more
Please
about
Google,
Tony.
please Google Tony Elumelu, guys. Like, there's something about this guy. I'm also following him a little bit because he's also a statistician, was a banker, and then went into entrepreneurship.
Okay.
So now I'm sure he's got more than 4,000 young entrepreneurs that he has funded. 5,000
And you're one of,
dollars.
and you're one
And
of them.
I am one of the beneficiaries for 2017. It's a very challenging
and highly
competition,
competitive.
very highly competitive. And please, guys, look for Tony Elumelu Foundation. The entrepreneurship thing is open now, so you guys can apply any assistance that you need. I'm here. I've always
Maybe they can fund Inspired Swati.
Of course, Lando. Yeah, we can do this. I can help through whoever wants to apply. Swazis, I'm sure we were 4 of Swazi people that actually managed to win. It's about time we raise the Swazi flag high, guys.
$5,000.
5,000
How much is that
dollars.
in Malangeni?
That was around about 69,000 in
69,000.
Malangeni that we got for a startup, which is a product that I will be promoting next year, that I'll be introducing to the Kingdom of Eswatini for young people.
Yeah.
More than that, guys, one more thing that I want to say. From there, it didn't stop me. I'm sure some of you guys that are following me probably on social media, they know that I was part of the young top young 100 that was for 2017 in SADC. And hello, Swaziland, you were represented again.
So wait. This one is a big deal because I was going to get to it. So basically, you said it's top 100, whereby they do a survey and scan the whole of Africa to look for young people who are either influencers, disruptors, innovators, right?
Yes.
And you were amongst the top tier just for SADC and Africa as a whole.
Yes. I was amongst the disruptor. I was in the disruptor category as well. So we disruptor of the status quo in terms of bridging the gap between entrepreneurship and academia, because we SADC.
It's such a big deal, right? It is such a big deal.
It's an honor. It's an honor.
You see, challenges did come, but she stayed focused and she pushed all the way. So we're about to wrap it up just real quick. I also then wanted to find out from your African Union experience, what is it that you learned and what is it that you're going to be bringing back to Eswatini to improve our economy? We've heard Her Royal Highness Princess Kanyiso, I even tagged you on her post the other day, I don't know if you saw, on Instagram. She's basically talking about we need to now stop using the traditional methods to resuscitate our community, but instead we need to innovate. We need to use STEM. We need to use entrepreneurship to change our country around, to make it the pearl, to make it certainly the pearl of Africa. From your African Union experience, what is it that you learned, and what are you bringing back home?
Okay. First of all, I'm glad that you are actually talking about innovators and entrepreneurship. So I was lucky enough to be actually deployed in an office where it's an African Observatory for Science, Technology and Innovation, of which that touches my heart so much. And I will not lie, I enjoyed every bit of my work because I got to really understand the policies behind entrepreneurship, the policies behind innovation, and then how we can actually link it to actually make it practical. How we need to understand that we don't really need
Can you see the monkey?
And I don't want to carry a baby.
Okay, wait. Okay, we have a monkey problem.
Okay.
Can you see? Yeah, continue.
Okay, but anyways, what I got to understand is the importance of innovation. How everybody needs to understand that we can play a role in innovation. Innovation does not only begin with inventors. It also, whatever opportunities you see, and then you think, if this could be done this way, or if we can add this to that's what we actually expect, even from young people that go out there to work after studying. We expect you to actually get into a workplace, be innovative, change something in there, make it, this is something you studied because you're passionate about that something. What are you bringing to the table? Because they've employed you to actually bring some value in what you are doing at work. Don't just come and use the old tradition. Give something also. That is innovation, and that can take us to the next level. We're actually glad that we're at a point. We're at a point in Swaziland where we have been given the privilege of having a technology park of high standard than the ones that I've actually seen going around Africa. It has every facility that young people can actually go and use and actually make something of it. We expect people not to just sit with their skills. You need help. We are there. There's a lot of young people out there that are actually willing to assist one another, but it's just that we do not have the platform. And thank you, Lando Woodley, for Inspired Swazi, because probably we're going to get recognized from Inspired Swazi, and then we can also tell a story and also teach some people, because I don't believe it's going to end here. We're going to take it bigger.
Thank you so much. So we're about to wrap it up. This is just the final question that I'm going to ask Nosizwe. I don't know where I'm supposed to go in my life. I don't know why I was born. What was the purpose for my existence, my destiny? We have a lot of young people with such questions or with such sentiments where you're not exactly sure what value you're supposed to add, where your destiny is supposed to lead you. What advice can you give young people who are facing that identity crisis? How should they pursue now their dreams, their goals for a better tomorrow?
Okay, so my advice to young people is, number one, believe in God. Trust in God in everything that you do. When you get to understand, I'm going to start quoting scriptures now, but
Preach. Yes.
When he says, I knew you before you were even born, he goes on to say, God has plans, great plans for
Jeremiah,
all of us.
yes.
Jeremiah 29 verse 11. So when you listen to those scriptures and you find situations in your life where you are in that position where you feel like there is no hope for you, just remember one thing, that God has greater plans for you. But there's one thing very important that you need to understand as a young person, is that you have your own purpose in life. For instance, I'm inspiring today, but I want you to understand that my life is probably not the same as yours. What I've gone through might probably be lesser or even worse than what you have gone through. But what you need to understand is that there is a purpose for your life. You are not here for no reason. You are here for a reason. So you need to understand, what purpose are you here for? Once you get that right, then there's nothing that can stop you from achieving your goals.
Oh, wow. Inspired Swatis, thank you so much for tuning in. I was with my very good friend, Nosizwe Sigwane. I told you she was a phenomenal woman. But before we get to my data, because we've been going on. Thank you so much for joining us. Until next time, we'll see you on Inspired Swati. Mwah!
Thank you for having me, Lando.
You're welcome, friend. Yo, I was so scared. We almost got bitten by. But thank you so much, legend.